Right, last lesson on plants, year 11. Well done to those that have been asking some really good questions on teams. The last lesson today is different plant hormones and how we humans can use these plant hormones to get better crops or better flowers from plants. So there's going to be 3 hormones that we'll learn about today. So a little bit more on auxins, gibberellins, and Ethene's the last one. Right, auxins. We'll understand that these are produced in the plant shoots and roots, and that they speed up growth in the shoots and they slow down growth in the roots. We'll understand hopefully that auxins move away from the light and they move down because of gravity, and this affects so positive gravitropism in the roots grow down towards gravity, negative gravitropism in the shoots, so shoots grow up away from gravity, positive phototropism in the shoots grow towards the light, and then roots grow away from the light. And this is all to do with the fact that auxins move away from the light and they move down towards gravity, also with the fact that auxins speed up growth in the shoots and slow down growth in the roots. Right, auxins can also interact with other plant hormones, and they can make differentiation happen. So they can make xylem, and they can make like the plant create roots from what used to be stem. So this is an experiment. So there's 2 plants here. The tip of the plant on the right has been removed. So a question that could come up is like, explain the differences in the 2 plants, and we should already be able to do this because we understand where auxins are formed and the effect it has on shoots. So an answer here would be, so the plant on the left, which didn't have its the tip removed, is creating auxins, and auxins are stimulating growth, so it grows taller. Conversely, the one on the right, which had its tip removed, it's not producing auxins, so it's not getting that stimulation, so it's not going to grow as much in the same amount of time as the plant on the left. Right, another use for auxins. So they're actually used as a weed killer. So auxins make plants grow lots and lots. So if you put tons of auxins on a plant, it can kill a plant, and the explanation is so they can basically make the plant grow uncontrollably. It can't get enough nutrients to support that growth, so all of the cells die. So weed killers that you might spray on your paths in the summer, they've got tons and tons of auxins which cause uncontrollable growth. So use 1 for auxins is as a weed killer. Use number 2 is as a thing called rooting powder. So gardeners often use rooting powder, and they can take cuttings off a plant. So if you've got a nice rose bush, you can trim a bit of the stem off, and it's got stem, you dip it in rooting powder, and after a few weeks, basically roots will start growing out of the stem, and you can plant that and it'll create a new plant which is a clone of the one that you took a cutting of. So lots of like, this is how apple trees and things are grown. So you get an apple tree which is producing the best apples, and you can take cuttings of it, so you know that it's genetically identical. So how does this work? So the rooting powder has auxins in, and the auxins basically stimulate the formation of roots from what was stem. So use number 2 for auxins is they can be used for rooting powder. What's your explanation behind it? Well, you dip the stem in and it forms roots, because the auxins stimulate differentiation in the stem to differentiate into roots. Right, so if there's one thing you're going to produce in your notes from this lesson, a summary table. So don't just completely copy off this, copy it down. Try and put a few extra things in that I say, not just what I've put into this table. But we've got 2 uses there: auxins, rooting powder, stimulates root formation. Number 2, weed killer, because it causes uncontrolled growth. Plants grow too fast and die. Right, second one. So before we understand the use of gibberellins, I kind of want to explain this word photoperiodism. So you'll understand that in the springtime, trees start growing leaves. You'll understand that flowers bloom and things like that in the spring. Some flowers bloom later on. Some flowers actually come up really, like still come up when it's snowing. So things like snowdrops are like the first plants. Some flowers don't bloom till like really late autumn. But different plants can flower and produce fruit at different times of the year. And the reason why that is, it's normally because of insects. So flowers of plants, they get pollinated by different insects. So if there's a certain insect that kind of they swarm at certain times of the year, then them flowers coincide and they make their flowers at the time of the year which insect pollinates it, basically. So plants need to understand what time of the year it is, and how they do this is photoperiodism. So this is how plants basically the sense light not working. So they basically know how long the day is, because they can sense it through the leaves, and there's other hormones involved here. But photoperiodism is just basically plants sensing what time of the year it is because of the day length. So 21st of June is the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. It's when the sun sets the latest and it comes up the earliest. So the night is the shortest and the day is the longest. The 21st of December, which is coming up in a few weeks, that's got the shortest day. So basically the sun comes up the latest and it goes down the earliest. And after the winter solstice, the days get longer and longer by a few minutes each day, and plants can basically sense this, and they can use that as a kind of a guidance on when to flower. So that they don't think about it, but the different hormones build up different concentrations, and the plants can respond to different seasons, so they know when to bloom. And that's, again, it links to evolution. So different flowers, different crops are ready at different times of the year. So we can use this to kind of trick the plant to make it produce flowers when we want, not when the plant has evolved to. And we can make it produce fruit when we want to, and not necessarily when the plant is like evolved to. So fact number 1 is that these things called gibberellins, they basically make germination happen in the seeds. So the seed, you can have seeds, but only when the seed like starts doing respiration and stuff is it ready to plant. So seeds can lie dormant until they know what time of the year it is that they should start sprouting and things like that. So if you put gibberellins on seeds, they're going to start germinating. So why is this good for us? So basically, if we've got seeds and it's the wrong time of the year to actually normally plant that plant, we can add gibberellins and the seed will germinate, so we can plant it in greenhouses and things like that, or in big like artificial greenhouses with artificial lights and things like that, and we can plant it at any time of the year we want. So we can get things like roses and tulips and summer fruits in the winter, because of this fact. So gibberellins cause germination, so we can make plants germinate and produce seeds, and seeds that work at any time of the year. Right, use number 2 for gibberellins is they can basically cause fruit to form without the plant breeding. So when plants breed, this is called pollination. So in humans, in animals, it's sperm cell, egg cell. In plants, you've got the pollen and the ovum. When they come together, it makes seeds, which are basically embryo plants. If you spray gibberellins onto a plant, it'll produce fruit, even though it hasn't bred. So you'll get the fruit without the seeds inside the middle. So if you think about an apple with seeds in, you're getting the apple without the pips. You can get strawberries without the pips on the outside. So you can produce seedless fruit by adding gibberellins. There's one more use, and this is on carnation flowers. So gibberellins have another effect. So they make seeds germinate, they make plants produce fruit, they also make stems grow longer, and they make plants produce more flowers. So carnations, especially these flowers, they are always produced with gibberellins. So if you didn't have these, they would be like little stumpy things with hardly any flowers on. So they basically make the plant bigger, so you can put them in vases, and they make more flowers. Right, so again, I've added this to a summary slide if you want to pause it and have a look and copy it down because you're dead lazy. Right, and then the last one is ethene, and this one's the easiest. Right, when fruit ripens, plants release this thing called ethene. So you might know this fact that if you shouldn't put bananas in with your other fruit because it makes it go off quicker. So basically over ripens it. And also if you've got fruit that you want to ripen, so for example, it's pretty posh, but if you've got avocados that are too hard or something, you can put them in a bag with bananas. Bananas release ethene and it ripens and softens the avocado. So yeah, what it does is it basically ripens fruit. So if you've got a shipment of bananas and you're taking them from Brazil to Tyne Dock, you basically have something in that shipment which absorbs ethene. So the plants they stay fresh, they don't ripen too early, they don't go rotten. So if you stop ethene, the bananas will stay green. And then the few days before you want them to go out on the shelf, you can add ethene to the bananas, and this will make them go yellow, so they look better and so they sell better. So ethene ripens fruit at the correct time. So this is the use of plant hormones. Make sure that you do the questions, you have a look at the mark schemes. Remember, this is the last lesson that you're doing at home. Wednesday, you've got science, and we're going to be doing a revision lesson. I'll know then if you haven't done work, and if you haven't, you'll be getting homework detention. I don't want to have to do this, but you understand that I have to, because it could still come down to teacher predictions. I need to back up the fact that we've done enough work for me to justify giving you good grades, right? I need to have evidence that you've put enough work in. So please make sure you've done all of the questions from A, I think this is lesson G now, all the worksheets, and then you should mark your own, and you should get in touch if there's anything specifically that you don't understand. I'm going to wait till you're all back before I go through the inverse square law. I think it's probably better. It's one of them things that I think most people haven't understood that well, and it'll be better for us to all go through it together. So yeah, I'll need to draw on boards and things like that, so it'll be better doing that when you're back. What else? Yeah, so the test Wednesday it'll be revision. That's the first lesson. We'll do a revision lesson. Thursday we'll be doing the test, and if you do terribly, you'll be getting hoisted back for intervention on a Friday every day, including the last day before Christmas. So right, see you later. Have fun.